Welcome to the first episode of the LOI transfer show in 2022. I hope you all are keeping very well. Obviously this was something we did in the pre-season of last year as well. I'm going to make a slight few adjustments to the show this year, just looking in terms of maybe looking towards a social media side of it more. I'm going to pull up social media's reactions to transfers that have gone through and stuff like that. Obviously we're jumping into this very early on in January, so a lot of business has been done already. Obviously a lot is still to come, of course, in the remaining month before the season kicks off, but a lot of business has been done already, so we can't really do an episode kind of recapping and everything that's happened so far. Most of these will of course already know, so we're going to be looking at kind of the main headlines from the transfers that have happened so far. So much controversy around managers at clubs and all as well, so a lot to get into in this episode. I'm going to try and make this a weekly thing, maybe try and do every Sunday if I can, but I'm not going to promise that. But if these guys do enjoy the format of the show as well, looking at the kind of social media side of it, let me know down in the comments below, and let me know if you want to see it every Sunday as well. Would be much appreciated. But I hope you all are keeping very well. This episode won't be out on a Sunday, it'll be a Monday or a Tuesday, I think. But yeah, if you do want to see it every week, let me know down below, and you can also let me know by dropping a like on the video if you go on to enjoy it as well, and do subscribe if you are new around here. But enough of that, let's jump straight into the good stuff, guys. I was on the Ayrshire League banter page, as you can see, and it was just kind of looking at this. This person posted saying what a crazy off season it's already been for the LOI club. So these are probably going to be the main headlines that we're going to look at so far. So of course Michael Duffy and Patrick McElhenney ditched Dundalk to go back to Derry City. You can say the same for Will Patching as well, of course. This is obviously announced during the season, actually back in September. Michael Duffy being the main one. He signed a pre-contract with the club during the campaign, and he signed a 4-year deal with Derry City. Massive signing. Still just 27 years of age as well, coming into the prime of his career really. Obviously last season was disappointing for him from a personal point of view, and for Dundalk of course as well, but coming into his prime at 27, it's a great signing for Derry, and to get him on a 4-year deal is such a huge statement of intention from them. Of course all their fans absolutely delighted, lots of gifs in the reactions down below. And this person says here that Derry will walk the league next season and possibly beyond that as well, but he kind of wonders about how Shamrock Rovers are going to try and keep the pace with Derry City, because realistically those are the two biggest spenders in the league now at this stage. You'd imagine they're going to be going toe to toe for the league titles next season and beyond as well. Looking at this from the Dundalk perspective, Michael Duffy obviously very complimentary of the club, unbelievable 5 years there. Tough one for Dundalk to take, because he has been such a key player for them for years now. He's been the main creative force, main goal scoring force for them really, and yeah, it's such a huge gap to replace a player like that. It's like a Jack Byrne type for Shamrock Rovers. Obviously they did quite well with Mandrew and Richie Towell and the likes, but for Dundalk it's really difficult to try and replace a player like Michael Duffy. We will come on to how they're looking to do that, but yeah, Michael Duffy, a huge loss of course. As you can see here, this person says an absolute gentleman man and player we will struggle to replace. He will go down in history as one of the greats to wear the jersey. Best of luck to Michael and Fats, who of course is Patrick McElhenney. So yeah, a lot of Dundalk fans will wish them well because of their service to the club over the years, and rightfully so. Next up, Stephen O'Donnell wins the FAI Cup with Pats and leaves the next day for Dundalk, taking Benson and Mountney back to Oriel Park. I think this whole saga needs its own video, because it's a nuts story, to be honest. Stephen O'Donnell, the rumours I've heard are like something like, I think Pats were expecting him to sign a new deal, of course, second in the league, winning the cup, or in the cup final at the time, and they were looking to renew the contract, and it was a case of O'Donnell's kind of pushing it back with it, and the players' contracts as well, because obviously he had an eye on taking them to Dundalk with him. So he's pushing him back in the week or two leading up to saying, oh, don't do this before a cup final, blah 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 blah. Then after the cup final it kind of comes out that he's leaving and stuff. So Pats of course are going to be raging over that, and looks like a court case is going to happen, everything. So much drama there. You have to question Stephen O'Donnell a little bit. It is a little bit sus from him, like it is a bit of a mad one. Obviously without knowing the full details it's hard to know exactly what went on, and I presume it will come out in due course, but crazy scenes, and I think it probably needs its own video. I think we will do a video on it. Nuts though, absolutely nuts. So yeah, Dundalk of course announced that Stevie's home via Twitter, and it's kind of a clip of all his playing days there, all the successful moments there, and of course all the fans are going to be absolutely buzzing with that. Peak Six of course leaving the club as well, so positive for Dundalk. They'll be delighted with that, the fans will be delighted with that, and it's kind of back in the hands of local people again, which is huge. So of course Dundalk fans all absolutely buzzing with this, tears in their eyes. Says one, what memories and what days lie ahead. Very, very excited for the future. Good times here again. So yeah, Dundalk fans are absolutely buzzing. But as you can see here, you can have the snake. Pats fans, Merry Christmas, Stephen O'Donnell Christmas cards were on sale, which is funny, isn't it? Like, so yeah, Pats fans of course no doubt gonna be very, very annoyed by this. I presume more, as I was saying, more is going to come out about it, about the whole situation. But yeah, crazy goings on at Dundalk, and it's going to be a real Dundalk St. Pat's derby next season. There's going to be a lot of spice in that one. I'm really looking forward to that game next year now. Both sides will be challenging at the top of the table for absolutely 100%. Really excited to see how that goes down. But yeah, St. Pat's and Dundalk fans, if you're watching, let us know what you think of the whole situation down in the comments below. Just looking at the confirmed list of ins for Dundalk, just from St. Pat's point of view, you obviously have Sam Bone, the defender, coming in, John Mountney coming in from St. Pat's as well, former Dundalk player, former teammate of O'Donnell, and of course Robbie Benson, former teammate and former Dundalk player as well. So yeah, 3 players as of yet have made the move from St. Pat's to Dundalk, but potentially that won't be all of it. I think there could be 1 or 2 more potentially on the way in, who knows. But yeah, just absolutely madness, isn't it? Absolute madness. St. Pat's then, of course, to replace Stephen O'Donnell, they did appoint Tim Clancy from Drogheda. A fantastic appointment in my opinion, and he convinced his good mate, because I think they were teammates before, weren't they? Eoin Doyle, to sign from Bolton Wanderers. Eoin Doyle, of course, 33 years of age, and signed on a 3-year deal, which you could consider a risk, absolutely 100%. But proven goal scorer wherever he's been. Bolton Wanderers' first choice striker without a shadow of a doubt. Really good striker. Offers a lot. Kind of a target man. Scores goals, gives you a little bit of everything. Definitely calls for him to get called up to the Ireland squad at times throughout the last few years when he's banged them in League 2 and League 1. So yeah, it's an unbelievable signing for St. Patrick's Athletic, and it's a real boost for them and their fans, because obviously it's been a bit crap for them since winning the cup and they're losing players and losing their manager. This is a huge boost, getting a great manager in and a great goal scorer in as well. It's a huge step for St. Pat's to stay amongst that top 2, top 3, and still possibly even challenge for the title. 160 goals and almost 500 appearances in his career, so consistent wherever he's gone. Yeah, it's huge. Serious statement by Pat. Doyle bangs him in everywhere he goes. Good for both camps. You get a good goal scorer and we get cash for another striker. This is obviously a Bolton fan. Can't have been done for less than 300 grand. Interesting. Not sure Pat would have paid that much. Potentially they did, I'm not sure. Thanks for all you've done, Eoin Doyle, massively appreciated. Pretty good, to be honest. Good luck in the future. St. Pat, you've got a great lad in your books here, and obviously Tim Clancy knows exactly what he's getting here. A great professional, a great fella for the dressing room. So that's going to be huge for them. Definition of a professional footballer and a godsend for Bolton. Help us get out of League 2. We'll have to be forever grateful, and great for him to get a chance to finish his career in his homeland. Good luck, Doyle, and thanks for everything. So yeah, a lot of Bolton Wanderers fans very appreciative and wishing him all the best, and of course that's exactly what you get with Eoin Doyle. He doesn't leave a bad taste in anyone's mouth wherever he goes. He's a very good professional, and he was Bolton Wanderers' first choice striker. You have to remember that. They're going to be have to get a replacement for him now, so it's a huge statement that St. Pat's were able to convince him to come to the League of Ireland, and it's a telling sign that they can get him in January. The real appeal, I think, of the League of Ireland and St. Pat's looks like it's definitely growing, in my opinion. So yeah, huge signing. Shamrock Rovers have re-signed Jack Byrne after his holiday in Cyprus comes to an end. Of course, Jack Byrne signing back for Shamrock Rovers, huge news. Unbelievable signing. Obviously didn't work out in Cyprus. Very unfortunate in terms of when he went over there initially. Nick McCarthy obviously was the big draw for him, and he was sacked within a few days, I think it was. So yeah, it was an absolute disaster. But of course, Shamrock Rovers fans are going to be absolutely delighted to have him back. Truly gifted player, and it's such a lift for the club to have him back. Plenty of gifts in there, just people absolutely buzzing. We'll be so happy to see the man back on Irish soil in the glorious Rovers jersey. Get to watch another class player in a class team. That's a huge one as well, in terms of not asking where does he fit in. Obviously he gets into the starting 11 week in week out, obviously, but so many players down there. You've Mandrew, you've Tell, you've Jack Byrne now, of course, you've Graham Burke. All these players that fit in without you mentioning the likes of your Ronan Finns, your Dylan Watts. So many players Shamrock Rovers have now. So much ability in the engine room and up front in that front three as well. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a headache in a good way for Stephen Bradley to try and fit these in, but there's probably egos there as well. Trying to get all these players enough game time could be a slight challenge, and finding the right balance in the team as well is going to be a difficulty, I'd say, for Stephen Bradley at times. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, but yeah, undoubtedly the signing of the season, and it won't be topped, I don't think, either. Bows have lost Ross Tierney, Keith Buckley, Cornwall, Georgie Kelly, Andy Lyons, Anto Breslin and Keith Ward already. Yeah, it's only huge departures. It's there. A lot of their mainstays from over the years, you're ones that are mainly concerned about because you lose your Tierneys, you're going to lose your Georgie Kellys. These are the players you kind of expect to lose, not in a good way, but you expect to lose them. You kind of have preparations in place nearly potentially for their departures, because you know you're gonna be losing these quality players. They're keeping Dawson Devoy is huge, of course. He would have been one I would have expected maybe to have been picked up by a Championship, a League One side or a Scottish side. So I think Tierney, you've already got your Chris Twardicks coming in, those kind of players coming into that front area, so they're kind of not replaceable, but there is going to be players coming in and they're going to get cracking again. You saw the year before, you lost your Danny Grants, you lost your Andre Wrights, and you think it's irreplaceable, but they aren't. You can get players in that will come good. It's the Keith Buckley's, that's a huge concern for me. Rob Cornwall's been such a mainstay there as well. Andy Lyons, Anthony Breslin, huge players. Keith Ward's been not getting in week out, but a massive presence in the dressing room, massive character in the club for years now, so losing him is massive as well. So a lot of work for Bows to do in the off season. They've brought in a good few players already, but I am concerned about them losing, especially Keith Buckley in midfield and that engine room. He's been so good last season, one of the best players in the league in my opinion, so good last year. So yeah, for me, Bows will struggle to replace him definitely, and it's going to be interesting to see how they get on next year. If they can finish better than what they did last season, which was 5th, I don't think it's very likely, to be honest with you. Damien Duff joined Shells, then half of the title winning team leave, including Michael O'Connor, who went straight onto Instagram to have a rant about him. I haven't heard about that. Has anyone heard about that? If they have, let me down in the comments below, because I'm very intrigued to see what that is. I had a quick look before the video started and I didn't actually see anything on that, and I'd like to see if that actually did happen. But yeah, if you look at Shells' departures, it's very significant. It's a lot of players that played a huge role last season. Your Dale Rooney's, your Ali Gilchrist, Georgie Point and Michael O'Connor. A lot of players that played a huge part in the promotion last season. But the big one for me is Ryan Brennan. I honestly can't believe it. I really struggle with that one. I just don't understand it at all. It doesn't make any sense. Drogheda will definitely be down there with Shells potentially at the end of the season, kind of fighting for that 9th spot potentially, and you're looking for players with experience like Ryan Brennan, who can score goals from midfield, who can create opportunities. I really struggle with that one, to be honest. I really struggle with it, because I think Ryan Brennan definitely would have stayed on with Shells if he was offered a contract. Only 30 years of age, 15 goals from 27 games from midfield last season, top goal scorer for Shells last year. I really don't understand it. I really struggle with it. Even the Georgie Pointon one as well, I feel like he's a type of player you want to just keep hold of, even for a year or two in the Premier Division. You can fill in, as I said, a couple of positions he can play in. Very solid player. He loved being at Chelsea, I believe. The fans liked him, and I think those two in particular were ones where I think they could have definitely kept a hold of just for a year or two, even just to keep them up, get them going, start building up the table. Maybe if you want to make improvements on them, then in a year or two's time, fair enough, if you're building towards something. But for me, I think he's mad. I trust in the process, backed up under 100%, but I really struggle with those two in particular. But Ryan Brennan, I think it's ludicrous. Sligo Rovers look set to lose Johnny Kenny to Celtic for 150 grand. They have of course sold Johnny Kenny to Celtic. I believe he had a release clause in his contract, and I saw a lot of people kind of saying, why does he have a £150,000 release clause in his contract? He's worth way more than that. You could have got 300, 500 grand, whatever it is. I think his agent, whoever's in charge of him, because he signed, what was it, a 3-year deal kind of last season, I think it was, Johnny Kenny. I think whoever was in charge of that said to Sligo, basically, listen here, we're not signing this deal unless there's a 150 grand release clause in it. We're not signing it otherwise, and probably tied Sligo's hands together, because they know that he's definitely worth more than that. Of course he is. So I don't think they would have had a choice in the matter, Sligo, in that one. And it's definitely a shame to see him leave the league. Fantastic young player, only 18 years of age, scored 11 goals in the league last season for Sligo. He finished as a top goal scorer. They finished 3rd in the league. Huge achievement for him. Looks like a serious prospect, and I really hope he gets his chance at Celtic. You've seen the likes of maybe Afolabi, Luke O'Connell going to Celtic and not really getting a look in. Ellie O'Connor as well in the first team. It's really tough, because they're a really good side, and it's tough to get a chance in the team. If you get a chance and you don't take it, it's tough to get another one maybe. But I think Johnny Kenny has all the minerals that it takes to make it to the very top of the game and be a potential Ireland international in the future. So yeah, wish him all the best of luck. Smashing footballer and seems like a really down to earth fella as well. So yeah, wish him all the best over in Scotland. Whether he gets like a loan move initially or something like that, I'm not 100% sure, but who knows. We'll see how that one plays out, and hopefully he kind of goes along the same lines. It looks like Liam Scales is going down, who actually is getting a huge opportunity in the first team so far, so, and is doing really well. So yeah, best luck to Johnny Kenny over there, but a huge loss for Sligo, of course. And finally, this person says that Harps are bollocks after losing their best player Tunde Uwalabi to St. Pat's. I wouldn't say he was their best player last season, would you? I'd say it's potentially Mark Coyle. He went to Shells. You've a few other options there as well. I wouldn't say Tunde had a brilliant end to the season, in particular. He had a fantastic campaign, but I wouldn't say he's Finn Harps' best player last season. But it's definitely a good signing for Pats to get in. Whether he kind of lines up beside Eoin Doyle up top, or is a second choice striker to Eoin Doyle, is going to kind of remains to be seen. But yeah, it's a good sign for St. Pat's. It's definitely a blow for Finn Harps to lose him, along with like your Sean Boyds and stuff as well up top. So they're a lot to do for Finn Harps, and Adam Foley of course as well. So they have a lot to do in the market. But I think he's definitely replaceable. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's definitely a player that you can get somebody in who can score a similar amount of goals as him, I believe. But it is going to be tough. A goal scorer is always going to be hard to find. And yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the first episode of the LOI Fan TV transfer show in 2022. If you like to kind of incorporate the social media aspect of it, if you enjoyed that, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll keep them coming. I'll try and get them out every maybe Sunday on a weekly basis. If you do want that, make sure to drop a like on the video. If you can hit 50 likes, that'd be very, very appreciated. And I forgot to say, actually, do please subscribe as well if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in a bit.